Welcome to today's explainer. Look, if you're using AI every single day, you absolutely know the friction I'm talking about. You've got your favorite prompts, your complex workflows, and yet you're constantly retyping, copying, pasting, and basically just relying on your own memory to get the AI to do exactly what you want. It's frustrating, right? Well, today we are completely flipping that script. We're going to dive into a fascinating playbook that takes a standard 15-key stream deck and transforms it into an absolute AI command center. We're talking about physically linking hardware directly to your daily AI routines. Let's get right into it. So there's a defining philosophy driving this entire playbook, and it's this: prompts live on keys, not in your memory. Just think about how you currently interact with AI for a second. Are you constantly trying to remember the exact right way to ask a question? Or maybe you're keeping a chaotic, messy notes document full of prompt templates hidden away somewhere. This playbook argues that your brain power should be spent solving the actual problem, not remembering the prompt. The command itself should just be a simple, physical button push. Okay, here's our quick roadmap for the explainer today. We'll start with the high-level AI command center, then look at hacking the Claude desktop app. From there, we'll cover some creative productivity routines, shift gears into the hardcore developer deck layout, and learn how to fence in a coding agent. Finally, we'll wrap up with a massive mindset shift, giving contracts, not asking for AI favors.
All right, Section 1, the AI Command Center.
What's genuinely fascinating here is how this whole hardware setup is split up into 4 distinct territories. You aren't just mashing static buttons. The profile on your deck switches automatically depending on exactly which app you have in focus. So if you're browsing the web, boom, you get the browser cockpit with Chrome-specific AI tools. Hop over to the Claude desktop app and you instantly get the Claude productivity profile. Jump into VS Code and you're suddenly looking at a heavy-duty coding deck. The physical keys literally adapt to whatever software environment you happen to be working in. It's a real game changer. Moving right along to Section 2, hacking the desktop app. Take a look at exactly how these 15 keys are organized. You've got your app control up on the top row, prompt template sitting in the middle, and these specific business modes on the bottom. But here's the real secret sauce. Most of these keys don't just type out plain text. They actually rely on tiny, hidden PowerShell scripts. So when you press a button, the script actively hunts down the Claude desktop window, brings it right to the front, focuses it, and then executes an action, like sending a shortcut or pasting a massive template. That means you could be deep in your email, hit one button, and immediately start talking to Claude without ever even touching your mouse. The cool thing is, this layout is packed with neat little hacks you can totally adapt for your own setup. Beyond that clever PowerShell trick, look at the voice input key. It focuses Claude and instantly activates Windows voice typing. The playbook specifically calls this out as being 3 times faster than typing and super ADHD-friendly for those long brain dumps. Or how about the multi-startup key? One single push opens 4 different business dashboards exactly 800 milliseconds apart. There's even a 25-minute Pomodoro timer that uses a spoken voice announcement to kick off. Hearing a computer voice formally announce your focus session is a surprisingly strong and honestly slightly intimidating commitment device. Section 3, creative productivity routines. Now, this is where it gets really fun. We're going to stop looking at individual keys and start chaining these hacks together to build a beautiful 1-2 combo. Imagine you're staring at a really messy data chart or some random error dialog. Step 1, you hit the screenshot key on your deck. The script opens the snipping tool and intentionally waits for exactly 6 seconds to give you time to draw your box. Then it automatically pastes that image straight into Claude. Step 2, you immediately hit the Analyze Image key right next to it. Bam! This key instantly pastes a highly structured prompt demanding composition, business insights, and recommendations based entirely on that image. 2 button presses and you've seamlessly piped visual data into an analytical AI framework. I mean, that is just peak efficiency right there. You can also use those dedicated keys on the bottom row to instantly load up complex business contexts. Say you press the HoloGPT mode key. It instantly feeds the AI an intricate background about the Saudi market, the Nejdi dialect, SMB pricing, and competitive positioning. So whenever you need to have a product discussion, you don't have to waste 5 minutes painstakingly explaining your brand voice to the AI. The context arrives completely preloaded with a single tap of your finger. All right, let's shift gears into Section 4, the developer deck layout. 90. Yeah, 90. That is the sheer scale of the VS Code deck we're talking about here. We are leaving casual productivity behind and entering a highly specialized coding environment. We're talking about 90 distinct, highly opinionated agent-to-coding prompts all mapped out to this hardware. This isn't just a handful of neat shortcuts. This is practically an entire operating system just for managing an AI coding agent. So how do you even organize 90 prompts on a 15-key Stream Deck? Well, it looks exactly like this. The VS Code home profile uses 9 folders arranged perfectly like a workflow. It's like a giant puzzle. The outer folders act as your support lanes. You've got Rescue for correcting mistakes, Tooling for environment maintenance, Context for session hygiene, and Learn to explain complex code. But that middle cross, the core colored folders, that is where your daily routine actually happens. That main road breaks down this 90-prompt behemoth into a super digestible daily timeline. You start in the Plan folder to scope out your new feature, then you move right into Build to actually write the code. If something breaks along the way, and let's be honest, it usually does, you jump into Debug. When the code is ready, you hit Ship to harden it, and finally Git plus PR to merge it all into the project. It's a linear, physical roadmap for software development, right at your fingertips. Which brings us to Section 5, Fencing the Coding Agent. Because let's face it, when you give AI that much power in your code editor, you absolutely need guardrails. Inside the Plan folder, the entire goal is to force the thinking to happen before a single line of code is written. You'll notice keys in there like interrogate me before you plan or list the unresolved questions. But the absolutely crucial element here is that every single prompt in this folder ends with a hard stop. You physically force the agent to wait for your human approval before it is allowed to touch the code repository. You are literally putting a fence around the AI's ambition. Once you move into the Build folder, those guardrails get even tighter. The Playbook uses prompts that fence the agent inside a very specific, limited scope. For example, check out the key for Fix this error and show the output. Notice it doesn't just ask the AI to fix the bug. No way. The prompt explicitly demands that the AI run the terminal and paste the actual output back into the chat as undeniable proof of success. Because a claim of success without output, that is simply not accepted as evidence. And before anything ever touches production, you have to pass through the ship and GIT folders, which act as rigorous quality gates. You can press a button to run a test blitz repo-wide to check the blast radius of your new code. Or you hit adversarially review the stiff, which is super cool. It instructs the AI to adopt a totally hostile reviewer mindset. Its only job is to aggressively tear apart what you just built. Finally, a dedicated key writes out your entire pull request body, demanding it link to actual visual evidence that the feature works. The whole shebang is covered. Finally, Section 6, Contracts, not AI favors. Let's wrap this up by looking at the fundamental mindset shift required to make this playbook actually work for you. Think about how we usually use AI versus how this deck forces you to work. The old way was honestly just too casual. We were essentially asking the AI for favors, relying on our memories to guide it, which almost always led to open-ended drifting, where the AI would just kind of guess what we wanted next. But the new way, the Stream Deck way, it's all about giving a contract. You clearly outline the command, you demand concrete evidence of success, and you strictly enforce hard stops. Seriously, if you take nothing else away from this explainer today, memorize this 5-word summary that binds all 90 of those coding prompts together. Evidence before claims. Stops before drift. Never, ever let the AI tell you it fixed something without showing you the actual terminal output to prove it. And always put a hard stop in your prompt before the AI has a chance to quietly increase the scope of your project. So, I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative question to chew on the next time you sit down at your desk. If your AI workflows still rely entirely on your own memory to get things right, who is really commanding who? Putting your prompts on physical keys isn't just about saving time, it's about reclaiming your complete authority over the tool. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this inspires you to redesign your very own AI command center. Catch you next time.